Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to take you through visualization of data using the JavaScript library called D3js, as you may see here. The D3 is a library used for data visualization. The D3 library is used to visualize data the way you would do it in Tulip or Tableau, any other tool that you can use for data visualization. If you click Get Started, there are examples that you can use to do visualization in JavaScript. But first, you need to have some proficiency. At this beginner level, you should have an understanding of what JavaScript is like. You should have used it a little bit to understand it. Declaration of variables, and so many other things, objects, functions, and other things. So you can do area charts, bar charts, donuts, histogram, line charts with this tool. And then on this side is how you can, ways you can use to do the visualization. You could try it online. You could do D3 in vanilla HTML, which is our normal HTML that we all know, inside HTML, or you can install from npm, which is what I did. I used nodejs, install D3 import, so you see some of these lines. And in this tutorial, I'm not really going to take you through the coding. I just want you to have a feel of what happens and the end product of a D3 product. You can also do React. If you're good with React, you can create a React app and then, create one. So there's so many other examples inside here that you could look at. So like I said, first you need to have nodejs. So if you went to your browser and typed nodejs, navigate to this official site, and you get nodejs. So you arrive to this same site here. So if you're using Windows, you download for Windows. If you're using Linux, you can still do an installation on Linux. You can use Docker and so many other ways. So my computer already has Node.js installed. So I'll take you right to my Visual Studio Code. And I think this is my D3 project. I'll open my terminal. And I'll start by typing node v to see the version of nodes. I have 24, which is, I think, by the time of this recording, is the latest version, 24.16. Oh, 24. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little few versions behind, but yes. So if you follow the D3 site, it will get you started with what you have to have. You can install npm install D3, blah blah blah, into your folder. So you could start by creating a folder into Visual Studio Code, and then navigate to that folder the way I navigate to mine, and then you can start npm install D3, and then you'll get yourself started. I'll navigate through my projects. So what you see, especially this folder structure you see here after git ignore, is automatically created, plus these packages automatically created by Node.js. Once you create an app with Node.js, it will install these folders, and then one of the folders, the node modules. This one usually has all the dependencies you need for your project. As you can see, Node.js was able to create for me all the necessary files that I need, JavaScript files that I need for my project, D3 files, dependencies that I will need for this project. And public public/data is where my the data set is. So this data set is a CSV file that has a country, territory, name, ISO, country, so many attributes that you can choose from to make sense of the data that you want to filter, then do visualizations that will make sense to other people. So of course, as you see, mine has a countries involved and so many other things, as you'll see the end product. And then the source usually comes with style sheets. So this is the style sheet I'm using for this product. And then the main.js is where I am calling, where I'm importing D3 into my JavaScript file that I want to use for the visualization. So you'll notice that line 1, I import D3 from D3. So it's being imported from my dependency files here, okay, as you can see. So most of the files that you want to use will be provided. So I also import feature from the topo JSON client. So I will not take you through line by line, but I'm just going to show you how these connect. So if I go to my HTML, because I only have one HTML file for this project, because the main objective is just to show you the visualization. So I don't need so many files. So this is just vanilla HTML, as you all know, but a link calling the different elements that I need. It's just a title, and then I'm just calling on to the fonts from Google. All this is just styling. Okay, so the main JavaScript here is down here at the end, where I call the source, then I call the main JavaScript, which I already showed you here. I think I closed it. Yeah, here. So I'm calling it into my HTML file. Need to open it in the, okay. All right. So my HTML file is then, of course, this is basically HTML I don't want to really go into. This is my navigation bar that you'll see on the side. But you could also use, because we integrate Bootstrap into this to make it, to the style and make it really look good. Or you could have your custom style like I have mine here, which you could do through customizing your Bootstrap. The less CSS. So fields, or first the control fields that I'm going to use countries. So basically, after lining up your HTML the way you might want to do it, okay. So for example, this one is where my line chart is going to be. This section. This section is a card that is going to have the region chart. So let's first look at what the product looks like, and then you can come and relate in the section of HTML. I don't intend to make this video long, so it will be as short as possible. So let's say npm run dev. So this will start my site on port 5173, as you can see. Now, what's the sections for the navigation? Like I showed you, it has the sliders, has different parameters, and this is my map, which is the first section here. Close, minimize. Okay, we just close. This navigation. Now close the navigation. This is my footer, and then this is the main. Okay, where we see the geographic distribution, the legend, and all the class maps. So that's the first section. Top 15 countries, and this is just the main by the row. And then we're looking at the regional average selected here. So if you go back to our map here, you'll see all that. So geographic distribution is the first one I showed you at the top, which has a map. We'll show you where the map comes in, how we import it to be able to visualize data onto the map. So as you can see, if you navigate through the map, probably want to go to Uganda, TB incidences, we have 100,000 2023. Per 100,000, we have 166. Per 100,000 in South Africa, we have 860. So you can visualize through this because, and the colors here show you the severity. That down here, it's more severe than any other country because it's much darker than any other place. So if you went here, you'll see that this is 373, this is 800 something. So we could scale this to see per year what happens. So you might see that in early years, South Africa had the least, okay, not really the least, but much lower than it has in 2013. But yet Namibia had the most TB instances. But none here. Chad had 1,200. Okay, this had much more than all this. So if you went to look at the highest burden level, this will be visualized here per country. Then for regions, you see Africa, Southeast Asia has that until what you want to see. Then the trends are here. South Africa, of course, at some point was really low, but then it started to rise significantly, as you might see. Nigeria has been a little consistent, flat throughout until 2012. China has been sloping a bit. So all this is visualized that way. You could also look at the different countries of Afghanistan as an individual country, okay? Or Albania, whatever you choose to see individually. You might want to study a trend of a given country alone, okay? That's how you see it. So we're looking at TB prevalence. We're looking at incidence, look at the prevalence or mortality, you know, and incidence cases. So all this is done with D3 libraries. So that's how rich it is. So I've only used a few of what you can use in D3, as you can see. It has all sorts of visualizations that you might want to use to visualize your data. So yeah, this is basically it's with my HTML. That's what I use for visualization. Then all the JS happens here, and somehow you'll see the mapping. If I could find it quickly, right? So here I use a CDN for the World Atlas countries. That's the map that you see visualized there. Right. So like I said, I don't intend to make this long. So this is a function for drawing the section for the map, as you might see. Okay, draw map legend. And it's quite big. Then the regional bars that you saw the other side, regional bars are over here. So this is the section for it. The line charts, that's a section for it. Then the ranking bar, which you saw down there. So the functions call, they call the data, they call the year, and then the metric, metric IDs. So as you saw on top, the metrics are already up there. You know these CVGs are the images. So these are the metrics that we've been called down there of the incident rate, prevalence rate, mortality rate, and incident country, which we have seen here. Okay, this is a metric incident count, and then all that data is there. But all that data comes from it comes from our file, which is come on here. Everything you need is this. All you have to get a data set, and then play around with your D3 tutorial and then you get it over with. Thank you for your time.